Hey, I'm Stephen and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome. Today we're talking about how big Tesla's Semi is. The Semi doesn't get a lot of airtime because it's not a consumer vehicle, it's a commercial product. People don't buy Semis, businesses do. And that makes its potential easy to overlook, but as a Tesla shareholder and long-term investor, the Tesla Semi gives me one. The Tesla Semi will grow to be massive and pump a multi-billion-dollar revenue stream into the business. The environmental impact can't be overstated, but the truth is, the economics are what really makes sense. Even if your business could care less about the environment, money talks, and it's fair to say most businesses would need to be utterly insane not to transition their fleet to electric as soon as possible. It may not be as sexy as a Roadster or as visible as a Model 3, but Tesla's Semi is a critical piece of the puzzle. Let's look at why. The economics. In the US alone, there are close to 3 million semis on roads. Fuel and maintenance costs are stupendously high as semis do a lot more driving than an average consumer vehicle, wearing them out much faster and guzzling hundreds of thousands of dollars in fuel every year. In fact, Tesla estimates the payback period for the semi truck is about 2 years. Let me explain. If you buy a Tesla Semi for freight transport, you'll be out of pocket almost $200,000. They're not cheap. Yet the fuel and maintenance savings are so enormous that within 2 years, the cost savings alone will have paid for the entire purchase. Now you have a free semi-truck that operates at much lower cost than a diesel equivalent, saving you hundreds of thousands of dollars per year indefinitely. Multiply that across your entire fleet. The cost savings could easily number into the millions just for a relatively small business. In the business world, money rules, and at the risk of coming across as an obnoxious twat, I'm going to say it. Unless the business has unique needs that cannot be met by the Tesla Semi, or a competitor releases a more efficient electric Semi, good luck with that given Tesla's battery lead. You'd need to be truly insane not to replace your entire fleet as soon as possible. It's like, hey, would you like to save mountains of money every year or not? And there's another point. The Tesla Semi is a beast. Its 4 motors mean it can fly uphill 20 miles an hour faster than diesel semis can. It also accelerates way faster. Who cares, you say? Trucks have to slow down sometimes. They have to accelerate sometimes. Trucks have to go uphill sometimes. If your truck does any of this faster, the time and therefore cost savings will compound. More miles covered in the same time is a good thing.
The best diesel trucks can only do 45 miles an hour up a 5% grade. Tesla Semi can do 65 miles an hour up a 5% grade. That's 65 miles an hour continuous at max gross. What this means is that if you're pulling a load over the Rockies or some mountainous terrain up a hill, you're earning 50% more per mile than you are in a diesel truck. That's a gigantic difference.
Even if a trip can be completed just 1% faster, it matters. If your fleet is 100 strong and you see a 1% improvement, you need one less truck, or you can do a bit more with what you have. How energy efficient the Semi is has a huge impact on total cost too. The further you go per kilowatt hour, the less you pay to move things. When moving things is your bread and butter, this matters.
We designed the Tesla truck to be like a bullet. So whereas a normal diesel truck is designed more like a barn wall, this is a bullet. You can see this in the drag coefficient. So the Tesla Semi has a 0.36 drag coefficient. This is a really good number. By way of comparison, a Bugatti Chiron, which is a $2 million supercar, has a 0.38 drag coefficient.
Safety. From an economic point of view, dead truck drivers aren't very useful. Then again, living truck drivers will kind of be useless soon too, once autonomy is solved. Until then, driver safety is super important. The more time you are on roads, the higher the probability of an accident. Avoiding accidents means avoiding downtime, not to mention the risks of death, disability, and injury. Driving is a dangerous activity. Driving long distances greatly adds to the risk, introducing elements like fatigue, extreme weather, and 1 in 1,000 events. Tesla's current lineup, the S, 3, and X, have the lowest probability of injury of any vehicle ever tested. Safety is literally the top priority at Tesla, and the Semi is no different.
What about safety? Now, when I say safety, I'm talking about the driver's safety. I'm also talking about other cars on the road. I'm talking about pedestrians. Safety for everyone. If you've got 80,000 pounds moving at 60 miles an hour, it's a very dangerous thing. Every truck we sell will have enhanced autopilot as standard. Okay. The truck will automatically brake. It will actually automatically lane keep as well. So even if you're in the truck and you have a medical emergency, the truck will stay in lane and gradually come to a halt and put on the emergencies. If it doesn't hear a response from you, it will actually call emergency services and get an ambulance. It's going to take care of you. It's going to take care of other cars. It's going to take care of pedestrians. This is a massive increase in safety. A few other things about safety. With that central position, you're in a very safe position. Even if you were to collide with another semi, you have a low center of gravity that gives you really good handling. It means the probability of a rollover is massively reduced because the battery pack is in the floor pan, and rollover risk is dramatically reduced. And perhaps most importantly, jackknifing is usually the worst nightmare of a trucker. How do you stop your vehicle from jackknifing if you're in difficult conditions? The truck will automatically stop jackknifing because it's got independent motors on each wheel, and it'll dynamically adjust the torque on each wheel so that jackknifing is impossible.
Cost savings. Let's listen to what Elon had to say about the cost per mile of the Tesla Semi.
The economics of trucking matter tremendously. If your cost per mile is too high, it doesn't make economic sense. You can't make it work. So we really thought about this a lot. And when you take everything into account, you take the lease cost, the insurance cost, maintenance, all of the factors, the fully accounted for true cost of trucking, a diesel truck will be 20% more expensive than a Tesla Semi per mile. So
20% may not sound huge, but it's equivalent to 1 in every 5 of your semis running for free. Think about that. If you're in the business of moving things, a 20% saving on one of your biggest costs is a game changer. But wait, there's more.
A Tesla truck considered by itself beats other diesel trucks. But what if you have a convoy? So what if you have two trucks following? So you're more like a train driver. In fact, the convoy technology, the tracking technology, this is something that we are confident we can do today 10 times safer than a human driver. So I want to be clear, this is something we can do now. Now if you look at the economics of a truck convoy, it gets way better. Now a diesel truck is twice as expensive as a Tesla Semi. What this means is it's not just economic suicide to use one diesel truck, it's economic suicide for rail. This beats rail.
The convoy feature changes the Tesla Semi from an extremely compelling economic decision to the only economic decision. It's a final nail in the coffin for diesel trucks. You would really need to be missing a few screws to not see the economic case for halving your operating costs. This is why the Tesla Semi is so exciting. Businesses will literally need to be mad not to buy them. And with Tesla's huge self-driving data lead, I'm confident to say that Tesla will be among the first and definitely the best to offer this feature. But trucking isn't just about the numbers. The driver experience. This matters, and Tesla does not disappoint. As we watch this clip from Elon, consider this. If you were a semi-truck driver, which would you rather drive? Which company would you rather work for?
Because this truck has no gears, you're not constantly shifting gears. It has one gear. So it's smooth. It's just like driving a Tesla. It's as though you're driving a Model S or Model X or Model 3. It's just big. It's super easy to drive, and it feels incredibly responsive. It's unlike any truck that you've ever driven. The point of view that you have is also incredible. We put the driver in the center. So the driver's actually in the center of the truck. You're positioned like you're in a race car. You have complete visibility of the road and all the surroundings. It's a beautiful, spacious interior. You can stand up inside. It's got redundant screens. And it just feels incredible to drive this. It's one of the best feelings. It's incomparably better than any other truck on the road. You really have to drive it to understand just how good that feels. Like, I can drive this thing, and I have no idea how to drive a semi. As compared to, I don't want to hurt your eyes, but that's what a diesel truck looks like today. It's a clutter of third-party devices. It's very difficult to use. It requires integration, installation. These things don't talk to each other. It's a pain in the neck. It has significant add-on costs, whereas the Tesla Semi, all of this is included. It's included in every truck. Everything just works. the moment you get the truck, it's got everything. And it'll seamlessly integrate with all the fleet systems, the things that are really important to the trucking industry.
Tesla have really focused on the driver experience. One final point which can't be overstated is the ability to charge at your destination.
If you're fueling a diesel truck, you've got fumes, spills, toxic environment, prices change all the time. And what a lot of people don't realize is it actually it takes up to 15 minutes or more to actually fill a truck. You have to sit there for 15 minutes while the tank gets filled. As compared to charging a Tesla truck, you can charge at your origin or destination. So while you're unloading your cargo, you can charge.
This may not sound exciting, but it's all of these incremental innovations that paint such a compelling case for Tesla Semi ownership. As a business owner, when you look at the economics, the driver experience, and the raw efficiencies like being able to charge at your destination, it's hard to ignore. And if that wasn't enough,
reliability is incredibly important. A truck is your life, it's your business. Truck breaks down, you're disappointing your customers. It's a horrible day, it could be a horrible week. It could break down in the middle of nowhere. The safety issues. Reliability is incredibly important. We're putting massive attention into making this truck incredibly reliable. And that's why we are guaranteeing that this truck will not break down for 1 million miles. Brakes are a big deal for trucks. You got to stop 80,000 pounds. It's not easy. That's a lot of brake wear. But because with an electric motor, you can turn the brakes into generators. So every time you brake, that kinetic energy of braking goes straight back into the battery pack instead of wearing down a brake pad. So the brake pads basically last forever. You never need to replace brake pads ever.
Full autonomy. The Tesla Semi is already incredibly compelling, but we know Tesla is working on solving full self-driving. When this happens, whether it's this year or this decade, everything changes. Almost overnight, truck drivers become obsolete. Hopefully they all have a plan B. From a business point of view, this is a huge, huge financial windfall. Paying someone to drive a truck is a total waste of money if the truck can drive itself. Duh. And self-driving trucks don't need to take breaks. At all. None. Without a driver, the truck can effectively be on roads 24/7. It doesn't need to rest or to take bathroom breaks. This changes everything. I won't be surprised if the Tesla Semi is the first place we see truly autonomous, unsupervised driving. The numbers. I've been harping on about how great the Tesla Semi is. You get it. But what does it translate into? As I mentioned, there are about 3 million semi trucks in the US alone and many more globally. Because of all the moving parts and being constantly on roads, they have short lifetimes. They break down, require regular repairs and maintenance, and quickly get to the point of needing a major overhaul or being replaced entirely. Enter the Tesla Semi. Let's split the difference between the two versions and call the average price $165,000. If Tesla sells just 100,000 semis per year, we're talking about $16.5 billion in revenue. Twice that many, which is well within reason, would be $33 billion, more than Tesla's entire business did in 2019. Please let that sink in. Just because you won't be driving one doesn't mean you should ignore the Tesla Semi. It's going to completely disrupt the freight industry. With limited production commencing this year, we'll soon see the likes of Pepsi, DHL, UPS and Walmart, all of whom made orders as soon as it was revealed, relying on Tesla's Semi to deliver goods more economically, efficiently and safely. Don't make the mistake of letting Tesla's Semi fly under the radar. It's one of their most important products and will do a lot to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable transport. And one last thing, the Tesla Semi won't just make Tesla a lot of money, it will save them a shitload of money too. Why? Tesla are smart. Tesla will use their own semis to transport their own goods, saving mountains of fuel and maintenance costs annually, further helping the bottom line. This matters. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan, this is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with anything I've said? Are you excited for the Semi? Do you own a business that will buy the Tesla Semi? What other benefits do you see it delivering? And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. PS, if you're still watching, you're awesome. This channel has kind of blown up since it launched, and I'm working on making the best possible content for you guys, but it takes time. Consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem, so I can continue creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. Either way, the best kind of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.